I thought I was repairing a leaking axle seal on my 68 Camaro. It turns out it wasn't a seal. The axle tube itself is cracked underneath the perch. The worst possible place to try to get to a crack. A repair shop would have charged me thousands of dollars to fix this. The real problem is I've never taken the rear end out of a car before, and I've certainly never welded on anything that's actually important. So I had one big question for myself. Could I actually fix it myself? I actually learned how to take the axle out and open up the pumpkin and get that funny little C-clip thing out without dropping it, but it was all for naught. So on the happy note, I learned how to do that, but then I found something much worse than just doing an axle seal. There's a weld on this bracket right underneath here, and I think that's cracked. I went into an absolute panic. The panic of, oh my God, how much is a shop gonna cost to repair this? And then how do you even repair that? I'm not sure how you get to the cracks underneath the perch. And I had to ask myself, should I even attempt to do this? This job seemed so big. I had learned how to weld a couple of years prior. I took a few classes. I really only learned how to stick a couple pieces of metal together for arts and crafts, not to actually do any serious structural welding. And I thought maybe this job is too big for just one person. What if I take the whole car apart and then I'm unable to get it back together? And how long will this job actually take? Is this car going to be ripped apart for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, pushing it? God forbid, 6 months. So I set to learning how to take the rear end out of this car. So sometimes things aren't as easy as they look. When you have those rusty nuts and bolts, oh, it's a killer. So I worked on it for hours yesterday and then soaked it for the last 24 hours in WD-40, and I finally got the little check nut off the parking brake. I finally got that off. I have such a sense of accomplishment. I have been a YouTube consumer since YouTube started, and when I took possession of the Camaro and started looking for other Camaro enthusiasts, I actually came across Vinyl Village Garage. He's actually busy saving all the Firebirds in the world, but the Camaro is so similar to the Firebird, I was able to watch all his videos and actually learn how to take the rear end out of this car. Once I got the rear end out of the car, then what was I gonna do? Well, what I was gonna do was figure out how to clean it up so that I could actually work on it, and I was gonna figure out how to weld up those cracks. That was my main concern, just get the cracks welded. So I started grinding down this old repair weld, and some of it just like flaked off. It's like it didn't really penetrate the metal the first time they did it. You can see that crack, and I still have fluid seeping through it every few minutes. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm doing something. You can really see where those other cracks are, and that's what we're gonna weld up. So one of the many problems of learning how to work on a car is doing everything out of order and just not having basic knowledge of how to get things done. So this thing was full of gook. And instead of scraping it off, I actually took a wire wheel to it and tried to get it all off, not knowing that I was grinding that grease into this cast. So now every time I hit it with a degreaser, more grease comes out. So my plan is I'm gonna put the cover back on and sacrifice a gasket, turn this thing upside down, and just spray the hell out of it with degreaser and take a pressure washer to it. I think the repair on the axle tube is holding so far, so that's the goal today, is to get this thing cleaned up, get my final pretty weld around that perch, and get it ready to be painted and hope that the paint holds. You know, if I've ripped it all out, I'm gonna put it back in a little better looking than when we started. And you know how it goes. Once you have everything taken apart, you've got to clean it all up and make it pretty before you slap that thing back in the car. So I set out to learn how to take the brakes apart, get everything spray painted, get the oily gunk off of everything, sandblast down the old traction bars, get them painted really nice, nice. And I even dropped the leaf springs off at a shop and had them re-arch. I think it's called re-arching the leaf springs, just so it was done. Amazingly enough, I actually felt the difference in the ride when I put those back in the car. So learning how to weld on something that was actually important kind of freaked me out. It freaked me out because it cannot leak when I'm done. If I get all this work done and get this rear end back into the car and it starts leaking again from the same exact spot, I will just be ripping my hair out. So if it wasn't bad enough just learning how to stop a crack in metal and weld it up, I also found that the plug welds were leaking little dots of gear oil. What the hell with that? That's a whole different kind of metal that's plug welded in the factory. And that was a real struggle for me because every time I would touch it with the MIG, it would melt away and then the holes would get bigger and bigger. So there was a tremendous amount of learning going on for me and absolute tenacity to just keep moving forward to try and fix those little dots in the plug weld. So you're never gonna believe this. I'm on my way to Bill and Terry's. They just left my house with the entire rear end in the back of their car because I was getting ready to paint today and went to pull out the filler plug and that thing would not budge and it literally rounded off the square corners. And then the corners started chipping off. And I think that plug's made out of cast iron. For the life of me, I couldn't get it to budge. So Bill came over to work on it. We tried everything. We welded a nut to it to try to use that and broke the weld right off. And now that he's got the right tools at his house to get that damn plug out. So that's what we're doing. It felt like, how could I possibly be stuck on just one nut that I can't get off after all the work that I've done? So we're finally gonna get that plug out. We just worked on it for 2 hours at my house and I'm at a standstill until I get the damn plug out. Lo and behold, man, I actually cleaned up that rear end, got everything painted, everything was repaired, got the brakes back together, and it was time to actually put the rear end back in the car. You know, my biggest fear was that the thing would just fall out as I was driving down the road. All right, see the line that I have in there?
I do. Pull it back.
Well, I need a wrench.
Right
here?
Sure.
It's gonna have to be good.
Okay. And then here, just... All right, start pumping. There we go. The bottom. That socket looks too big.
It is. I was just seeing if it would fit. It'll fit. What did we decide that was?
I think it was 11/16.
Look at that nice cleaned up rear end. That took a couple hours, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about these traction bars. One of the things I learned is that J-bolts are sort of a pain in the ass, but I think I have them dialed in, sort of based on the pictures that I took. And I'm just going to adjust the brakes a little bit and keep moving along.
Probably the most important thing that I learned with this project is actually shop safety. Simple things. Although I've been around a garage my entire life with my older brothers and my dad, I have very little experience actually working under a car myself. I know with my Mercury, it's very low profile. If that thing comes down, nobody's gonna survive that. One of the most important things that I learned is do not rely on your hydraulic jack to hold a car up. You must use jack stands because that hydraulic jack can fail at any moment. One of the other things that I learned is while I'm under the car working, do not let my mind wander to think about California earthquakes, because if my mind wanders there, I will never get my butt underneath the car. One of the things that I learned about working on this car is to do my research. I need to research every little part to learn how to take it apart. Other people have more experience than I do. I found that the more research I did, the more comfortable I was when I actually came to the garage and was planning on taking something apart. Just even knowing how those particular mechanisms work together, having a little bit of foreknowledge before I grabbed grab a wrench or a hammer. That was super helpful to me. One of the strange things that I learned, and it just comes from lack of knowledge, is bolts get stuck. Bolts and nuts get rusty. Oil it up, soak it, let it soak overnight, let it soak for a couple of days, and try again. And when all else fails, heat that bad boy up. Get a torch and just go for it. That was a big learning thing for me. Every once in a while, we're gonna run into a snag and actually have to cut a bolt off. I had to learn about that. Don't be afraid. Cut the bolt off and replace the bolt. And as much as I like to think that I'm just a badass, I actually have incredible mentors. I have friends that build hot rods, and they were friends of my brother's, and they are so kind to me, and they let me come and ask a silly girl questions, and they're very encouraging. So I really give them all the credit for how Girl Garage comes along on each project. If you want to see more about how I'm bringing this Camaro back to life one project at a time, check out this playlist right here. And if you want to know more about how I ended up in Girl Garage, check out this long, boring video right here. Thanks for following along as I learn to build this Gen X life one project at a time.